Inflections for temporal aspect. That title that just popped up on the screen, that's a fancy, it sounds like some fancy complicated grammar. But you use it all the time in English and you never even notice. I'll show you an example, like the word to call on the phone. I will call mom. I am calling mom. I called mom. The basic concept is to call. But we can change that word just a little bit to show the time, how the time has changed. Like will call mom. That's in the future tense. It means it hasn't happened yet. Am calling means it's present progressive tense. It means it's happening right now, like I'm on the phone, like this is mom on the phone. Called, like with an ED on the end, that means it's past tense. It's already happened. Like I was on the phone with mom and then I hung up. It's already over. That concept is called inflection. The word itself can be changed just a little bit to show gender, number, time, the person, the feeling, the attitude, lots of different stuff. Inflection is the change of form that words undergo to mark case, gender, number, tense, person, mood, or attitude. ASL in English has different rules for inflection, but the basic concept is still the same. In English, we have the basic word, and then we can add like a prefix onto the front, or a suffix onto the back, and that changes the meaning of the word. In ASL, we change the movement. So we have 3 temporal inflections for ASL. The first one is uninflected. It means it happened one time, like I stood up. The second kind is recurring. It means it happens again and again for brief periods of time. Like the audience kept rising to their feet. The third kind is continuous. That means it happens for a long time without interruptions or breaks. So like I stood up for 2 hours and I was just standing there. Do you notice how the sign stand up changed? For uninflected, I signed it one time, stand up, that's it. Uninflected means there's no real change to it. That's the basic sign that you first learned. Recurring, you have to sign it again and again because it starts and stops. Like at a church service, like you stand up and then you sit down, and then you stand up and you church down and you sit down, and you do that again and again. Or at a music concert. Oh, I love this song, this is my favorite. And everybody gets up and cheers and, oh wait, this song's boring, so you sit. Oh, I love this one, so everybody stands up again. It happens over and over again, starting and stopping. So think about the word occur, and that means it happens. So recur means to happen over and over again. Notice I didn't even sign again, that even that had that continuous motion. The third one is continuous. It means it happens for a long time, like you're waiting and you're waiting, like you're in line, there's no chairs, and you just have to stand there for a long time. So you see, notice how the movement changes? It makes little circles. It's not just to stand up, but it's to stand. And your facial expression changes too, like you make this thing with your mouth and you're kind of rolling your eyes to show that you're bored and that your feet hurt and that you're frustrated. Here's some more information you need to know about how to gloss those different kinds of inflections. A lot of words that you've recently learned related to illnesses can be inflected like this. Your textbook uses the example of vomit. So, for example, for uninflected, this morning I worked out and when I was done I threw up. Recurring, when she first became pregnant, every morning she'd throw up. Or continuous, it's like I was sick, so all night long I just kept throwing up constantly. Remember, you can't change all of the signs. Sometimes you can't do the continuous movement. You can't do the circles because it'll change the meaning of the sign too much. So if that happens, you can use the sign again or the sign continue. You can't only just look at the word to figure out the inflections. Sometimes you have to look at the whole sentence. Like at the time, if I said this afternoon, it's probably going to be uninflected because it just happened one time and then it was over. If it was every afternoon, that would be recurring because it happened every day and then it just stopped. If I said all afternoon, that means it's continuous. It didn't happen just one time, but it started at noon and then it went all afternoon till the sun was glowing the horizon, that whole time. So if you look at the time, then you know how to make those changes. Here are some other words you've already learned that can be easily inflected.